Today, there are spiritual people in the New Age movement who talk about connecting to your higher frequencies in the universe to change your reality and things like the law of attraction. There are those who believe that you can completely control your reality to manipulate your future and manifest positive things in your life. Do you want to connect with the cosmic forces of the universe and unlock hidden abilities? Do you want to manifest positive things in your life and change your reality and future? This is AJ Fortuna from Mind 444, and in this video I'm going to discuss a very powerful and key secret of the universe. We are the universe. We are everything on Earth. The first thing I would like to discuss is consciousness. What is consciousness? According to Tom Campbell, consciousness is an information or data system. Tom Campbell is a physicist, lecturer, and author of the My Big Toe trilogy. Check the description of this video for a link to a playlist of Tom Campbell's video series, The Big Toe, since this video is based on those videos. Consciousness is the only thing in this physical reality that is fundamental. Everything else, like our bodies, our brains, the planets, trees, and oceans, for example, are derived from consciousness. So now, consciousness is information or data, so to speak. It is an information field. Consciousness is like computer code with ones and zeros. So this consciousness system started off as one and was aware that it could exist in two states, like a one-celled creature that splits in half, and lowered its entropy to become more complex and split into pieces. And those pieces split into pieces to evolve and interact with each other, and each piece is evolving and growing. Consciousness is self-aware and is constantly changing and evolving, and humans are part of this evolution and larger consciousness information system. So try to think of it this way. We humans are in a big elaborate computer game like the popular online game Second Life or the popular computer game The Sims, interacting with this consciousness data stream so that we can evolve and grow towards love. And we all have our own individual consciousness stream that interacts with each other's stream. One of the feedback systems of this computer game is that you can modify the probable future. We look at the future in terms of probability because the system has created this world for us to live in. Then it also computes what's likely to be next. What's probable to be next? And then given that, that's true. What's probably next after that, given that that's true? Then what's probably next after that? Well, you can only go on so far because the errors are building as you go. But you can go pretty far because most of us are pretty predictable. If you figure that the databases, everything we've ever done, thought, imagined, every emotion, every feeling, that's all in the database of the character. And so what's going to happen in the next tiny second is not that hard to guess. And this can go out for a pretty long way. So you have this future probable database, which as time clicks on, it becomes the present. Free will just exists here in the present moment. We act and we make choices, and by these choices we either evolve or devolve. If the choice is out of caring, then we evolve some. If the choice isn't out of caring, then we devolve some. So we have free will. We can go either way we want. Our intent is the motivator, the action. That's what drives the action, is our intent, which is a representation of who we are, what we are at the core level, at the being level, as opposed to the intellectual level, which is what we think we are or hope we are. So here we are, we use our intent and we can modify the probable future. We can change the probabilities around us of what's likely to happen next with our intent. Think of the placebo effect. Study.com states it. Imagine you have volunteered for a study that determines the effectiveness of a new headache drug. You take the pill you have been given, believing that it will help your headache. You find that your headache feels much better after you take the pill. Later, you are told that you did not actually receive the new medicine in the study at all, but you were given a placebo, a sugar pill, instead. A placebo is something given to a person that has no real physical effect. If you were not given the medication, why did your headache feel better after you took the pill you were given? The answer to this question is that you experienced the placebo effect. The placebo effect is a real, true-life phenomenon that occurs when a person believes he or she is receiving real treatment and reports an improvement in his or her condition. So it's real medicine because now we have a positive attitude towards our outcome. Well, you're putting energy into modifying the probability that you'll get better as opposed to worse. You see, it's your intent. How do you heal somebody with your mind? It's your intent that does it. Think of the study by Masaru Emoto. Wikipedia.com states it. Masaru Emoto was a Japanese author, researcher, photographer, and entrepreneur who claimed that human consciousness has an effect on the molecular structure of water. Emoto's conjecture evolved over the years, and his early work explored his belief that the water could react to positive thoughts and words, and that polluted water could be cleaned through prayer and positive visualization. Professor Emoto takes a glass of water and says positive things and plays classical music by Bach to it. He then freezes the water, and it crystallizes, and when looked at under a microscope, they appear to be pretty crystals. Then he takes a glass of water and says negative things to it and plays acid rock. Again, he freezes the water, and when looked at under a microscope, they appear to be all nasty, ugly crystals. So it's not that the water likes positive words and classical music. Water is just water. Well, the way that water freezes, the way it crystallizes, there's a lot of uncertainty. If you have uncertainty in the system, then you can modify the system with your intent. So it's because Professor Emoto likes Bach and he detests acid rock. That's why the crystals are like that. You see, it's his intent. It's how occult magic like hoodoo works. It's not the herbs, tea leaves, chicken bones, tarot cards, and spells, but it's the intent in the person casting spells behind the magic. It's also how prayer and healing works. It's not that God answers prayers, it is the intent behind the person that prays. It is not the person laying his hands on somebody trying to heal another person. It is the intent behind that person, and that the other person really believes that he will be healed. If a person really believes it's going to manifest, then it will. Same goes for the person performing magic and casting spells. It's not the magic, it is that the person really believes it will manifest, or another person believes that they will receive the magic. Let's look at the double slit experiment. It is a basic physics experiment, and it was done in the early 1920s. Early to mid-1920s is when most of this research was done, and what it showed was that reality is probabilistic and statistical, and it did that by doing something that was in violation of objective causality. The experiment demonstrated that reality is really made up of probability distributions. Particles are probability distributions, not little hard things, but when you measure them, like measure which slit they go through, you get a particle. And they made a couple wrong conclusions. One, they said, well, it's the measurement that turns the probability distribution into particle. So measurement collapses the wave function is what the physicists of the time would say, and that's really not true. And another thing they said, it takes consciousness to be aware of making a measurement. Consciousness collapses the wave function. That's really not true either. What's true is it is information. Once you measure that you have a particular particle at a slit, and that information is available in this reality, then it has to stay in this reality. So you get a particle. So it's a matter of getting the information and having it in this reality. So this brings me to beliefs like the law of attraction. New Age spiritual movements of today follow beliefs of the law of attraction. So if you've never heard of this belief, the lawofattraction.com states, simply put, the law of attraction is the ability to attract into our lives whatever we are focusing on. It is believed regardless of age, nationality, or religious belief, we are all susceptible to the laws which govern the universe, including the law of attraction. It is the law of attraction which uses the power of the mind to translate whatever it is in our thoughts and materialize them into reality. In basic terms, all thoughts turn into things eventually. If you focus on negative doom and gloom, you will remain under that cloud. If you focus on positive thoughts and have goals that you aim to achieve, you will find a way to achieve them with massive action. So to conclude, in your life you can connect with the database of consciousness and change your future and manifest positive things in your life. How can I do this, you may ask? Well, I would like to share with you a couple little practices I do every day. One thing I do is I take time to be quiet and I think about things that I would like to manifest into my life. I then speak them into existence by saying them out loud several times, as if they have already manifested. It is my intent that they will manifest. Another thing that I do daily is I write down in a journal the things I would like to manifest into my life. After writing them down, I focus on them and I believe that they have already manifested in my life. By doing these practices, you can change the information in the data stream of consciousness towards your favor and change your reality, which can have an effect on the probable outcome of your future. So you could manifest positive things into your life with your positive intent, so to speak. Now then, if you desire, you may want to apply these types of practices in your daily life. So the powerful key secret of the universe is that you can manifest anything you want into your life if you really believe that it will manifest. It's all in your intent. So to end this video, I would like to state with the words of Tom Campbell that we are all one. It's just one consciousness system. You've probably heard that somewhere. We're all one, right? That's true. We're all pieces of this consciousness system. We're all netted together so we can communicate. We can share information. If you are into this type of thing, please subscribe to this channel by clicking the Mind 444 logo in the top right corner. And also remember to click the bell icon to be notified when we upload new videos. Love in the highest vibration, friend.